So apparently, despite the fact that the Greta Thunberg boat completely failed in its mission and got apprehended, and honestly, she embarrassed herself because then she was smiling when given food. There was a lot of really, really bad things for Greta and the Palestinian movement. Regardless of any of that, some people actually think it was a success, that actually they did the right thing. And Piers Morgan, despite his faults, actually calls Francesca Farrago out on this insane point. Francesca Albanese, that is, sorry.
Honestly, listen, I hear you, but what have they achieved, honestly, other than Greta Thunberg getting her face on a lot of newspapers, right, with with a big beaming grin, receiving food, Well, let me finish. All I've seen are big pictures of her grinning her head off, receiving food at the end of her ordeal, which lasted a few hours. She knew exactly what was going to happen. She knew the IDF would not let her anywhere near Gaza. The whole thing is, I think you said, is performative. And I'm not seeing people running around going, good on Greta Thunberg. She's really changed my mind about what's happening there. They've all gone, hang on a sec, you're calling yourself a kidnap victim, and your kidnappers are giving you food and then taking you to a safe place afterwards. Why would you use that kind of analogy when actually the war is raging, as you know, because Israel is determined to kill all the Hamas terrorists and get their hostages back who actually were kidnapped?
I think you are the only one left who still believes the killing all Hamas terrorists, Piers. Frankly, Israel has such a
sophisticated
that's what Israel
is. I said that's what Israel has said it is trying to do.
Not killing Hamas terrorists.
I've actually been hang on. I've been very just to be clear.
He actually is on her side. Like, I don't know why she's arguing with him. He's on the pro-Pali side completely at this point, and she's still going at him.
To be clear, Francesca, I've been very critical of the Israeli government in the last
week. But you're still mentioning that Israel is killing terrorists.
Oh, I know you've been critical of the Israeli government, but you haven't said it's a genocide yet.
I'm repeating their mission statement, which they said was to eradicate Hamas and get their terrorists and get their hostages back. Nobody else, no one in Gaza has benefited from this ridiculous stunt. It got nowhere near Gaza. It was never going to get anywhere near Gaza. Obviously, she knew that. We knew that. And if she's that concerned, why is she grinning like a Cheshire cat in all the pictures? What's so funny?
You should not be insulting. You should not be insulting the facial expression on anyone.
She's insulting my intelligence with her facial
expression. What? You can't insult the facial expression of a little brat, 22-year-old, self-obsessed bitch.
Expression.
With you, Piers.
Well, don't grin. If it's that serious, don't grin. I feel desperately concerned. I feel desperately concerned for the plight of the innocent. Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish.
Who's been sailing for 8 days.
Fine. Let me finish.
Today you talk about her grimace.
Fine.
Come on.
Let me finish.
Talk about Gaza.
I feel very concerned, as I've been saying loudly in the last week, about the ongoing appalling plight of innocent civilians in Gaza. All I can say for sure is that this stunt has done absolutely zero to help any of the people in Gaza. Zero.
This is your opinion, Piers, and I respect it very much, and it counts 0.
Okay. Well,
0.
Well, in that case, we will agree to disagree. Thank you very much indeed for joining me. I appreciate it.
You don't want to talk with me about Gaza and the awful situation there and the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. So you just wanted to talk about what you think it's a stunt.
Yeah.
You called me for that.
Yes.
So I'm international law expert, and you called me on your program to talk about Greta Thunberg.
Well, you've had nearly 20 minutes to talk about whatever you wanted to talk about.
I answered your question, Piers.
Yeah, you had 20 minutes. If you wanted to talk about something else, talk about something else.
However, I won't bother you further. Thank you very much. Till the next one. Bye-bye, Piers.
Bye-bye.
She quit the debate. Honestly, I don't like Piers Morgan or her, but this was some common sense, some common sense. I think that Piers, he sort of feels like he has to go with the more popular side. He's trying to make as much money as possible. That is his goal. And listen, I don't like the fact that he's making money off the anti-Semitism and a lot of the anti-Israel, guests that he's brought on. But that's his thing, you know. He makes money off of other people's suffering, and you know, I guess kudos to him. Whatever, I'm not going to freak out over the fact that maybe he's going to side with the pro-Palestine side, especially when at the end of the day he's pretty even-handed. You know, he gives it to the anti-Israel side and he gives it to the pro-Israel side. So, you know, whatever. For more, subscribe to the channel. If you want to help us make more of these videos, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/JewishUncensored. You can also go to our channel memberships page and join there as well. Thank you for watching, and have a good one.